demanding more, breaking into the "we want Dart" chants. Never want to hear that 3 games in. It sounded like their head coach, though, Brian Daboll, isn't against making the quarterback switch. Listen to this.
We're working through, all personnel decisions, and we'll do that over the next few days.
You're not saying Russ is the starter, right? You're saying you're still working through that?
Yeah, we're doing what we normally do, which is watch the tape. We're just watching it with the players right now.
When you say what you normally do, most Monday afternoons, you know who your quarterback's going to be the upcoming week if everyone's healthy, though. It just seems a little different, your responses.
Yeah, well, look, we're going through the tape right now. We're evaluating everything.
So quarterback change is on the table.
I'd say we're evaluating everything.
Keep pushing. You'll get closer and closer to the answer. Wilson has a 34 quarterback rating this season. That's only ahead of rookie Cam Ward and first-year starter J.J. McCarthy. Plus, Wilson recorded his first game with 0 passing touchdowns and multiple interceptions since the 2022 season in Sunday's loss against the Chiefs. I think we all know that's not very good. So now, Jackson Dart waiting in the wings would now, with the Chargers on the horizon, who are 3-0 as we all know, be a good time to start the young rough, can't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, if your quarterback in Russell Wilson is giving you rookie mistakes, why not put the rookie quarterback out there that represents your future at the position and let him get on-the-job training? Because what you're getting from Russell Wilson is absolutely egregious. It's unacceptable. And Stephen A. brought up the point about the Russell Wilson losing streak, 9 straight games. He doesn't represent a lot of hope for the Giants fans or the players in that locker room in terms of giving them a chance to be competitive against the LA Chargers, which is in the conversation for best teams in all of football. Russell Wilson has been bad. The interceptions in the game against the Chiefs, absolutely egregious. Throwing the ball out of the back of the end zone on 4th down at the end of the game, goal to go when you gotta have points, absolutely egregious. What we saw in the first game against the Commanders, the 2 goal-to-go sequences, where you only come away with 3 points total. Embarrassment. You had 7 chances to get the ball into the end zone inside your own 5 and come up with nothing. I'm sorry. As a Giants fan, as a former player, I've had enough. It's time to put Jackson Dart in the game. And damn it, if you didn't think he was ready to play, then he shouldn't be your number 2 quarterback, because we all know that guy is just a 1 hit away from being in the game.
Listen, if you watch the Netflix series, The Gambler, about the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, Michael Irvin stole the show. He was absolutely hilarious. One of my favorite segments is when Troy Aikman gets hurt. Steve Berline comes in, and Michael Irvin says to him, "Give me the ball. You want to stay in the league? You want to keep your job? Give me the ball." I say,
And what'd he do?
You want to stay in the league?
He got him the ball.
You want to stay in the league? Give me the ball, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about Russell Wilson, who's clearly regressed as a pocket passer, who's clearly regressed in terms of what he produces when he's under pressure. I'm watching Malik Neighbors. The brother's always open. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. It doesn't matter who's defending against him. He creates separation. And usually when there's a problem, it's because you've underthrown it, you've overthrown it, you've made it look like a defender is draped all over him, when in fact it's him waiting for the ball because you're late in discovering him, etc. And Wan'Dale Robinson is no joke either. The brother can play. And so if you're Russell Wilson and you have weapons like that, but you 0 for 6 on deep balls against Kansas City, you only completed 37% of your passes under pressure. You can't manufacture points, like you said, 7 chances inside your own 5-yard line. It's time to get Jackson Dart in there. And here's the reality. You gotta, as the late great Joe Madison on Urban View Radio would say, put it where the goats can get it. Just bring it home. And it's this simple. Brian Daboll, want to keep your job? You want to keep your job? Put Jackson Dart in the game. Want to keep your job? Because if you're GM Shane, all right, who I call Shane because of how he treated Saquon Barkley, all right, or you are Coach Daboll, you have got to put Jackson Dart in. And by the way, this is the perfect week because you're playing New Orleans. Who better to play? Who better to play?
Nope.
The Chargers. I apologize.
Yeah.
The Chargers, then New Orleans,
yeah.
right? So I'm saying to you, you have to get him in there, because if you're Brian Daboll and Shane, you may not have a job in a few weeks. Seriously, and by the way, the Giants as an organization, you've been horrible. Since 2011, when they won the Super Bowl, I don't know if you can definitively say there's a worse organization in all of football than the New York Giants. And think about it. Somebody would bring up the Jacksonville Jaguars. At least they went to the AFC Championship game in 2017. What have the Giants done? They had one player birthday debut year with Daniel Jones. Outside of that, that's it. They've been horrible. Absolutely horrible. The Giants, the New York Giants. Think about it for a second.
Okay, I'm not going to go that far with worst organization.
Go look.
But I cover, so I got it. But I understand Chris as a former player. I understand Brian Daboll has to walk in a locker room each and every week and say, this man gives us the best chance to win. And as vets, as players in the locker room, you have to believe in that. You have to ride with that quarterback wherever the coach says. However, everybody's talking about, well, Daboll wants to keep his job. Joe Shane wants to keep his job. Put the kid in. Cansey's like, why not? Russell Wilson looks terrible. You said one thing. You were like, I can't think of another reason because he's the future of the franchise. I would counter because he's the future of the franchise. Don't throw him in there just because Russell has lost his way. Because the point to me, after all these years of covering football, quarterbacks get ruined by bad organizations year after year, and then we wonder, why is this kid a bust? It's about developing him. And I think we have to look at, how does Jackson Dart get better? You're going to say, well, throw him out there. I looked at their schedule. They play the Chargers. Yes, they play the Saints after that, but they got 2 games against the Eagles sandwich in there. They've got a game against the Broncos defense. Just because Russell is not playing well, the point of this season isn't about getting to the playoffs. You didn't think they were getting to the playoffs this year, right? The whole point of this season is to develop him the right way. Anything beyond that, I don't want to hear about. So if somebody doesn't do their job well, why are you making me take their job? Like, I shouldn't, he's the one struggling. If I'm not ready as a rookie quarterback, then why throw him out there just yet?
Well, first of all, he's the backup quarterback. So he's a hit away from going in the game anyway. But here's the other thing I will say, in the bigger point, when you start talking about development, a part of that is the culture that you train your players up in. And Vince Lombardi said it best. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. And right now, the Giants are getting into a place where they're consistently non-competitive.
But can I ask a question? What if Jackson Dart does start and he's bad? You can't go backwards. You're not going to go back to Wilson.
That is the problem. Everybody likes the shiny new toy. Jackson Dart has not been exposed yet. Nobody's seen him. So you can slouch all you want. Nobody's seen him. The minute he throws a couple picks, the minute he has some bad games, now fans are looking at it like, oh, here we go. That's my issue with the rookie quarterbacks. It's always, throw him out there because the vet, he stinks.
Well, he's got to be given an opportunity to do the job. And that's right now where the New York Giants are at. Russell Wilson is not allowing them to win games. It's different if you have a situation like the Cleveland Browns where you're actually getting on the board with a win with a veteran quarterback. You're not winning with Russell Wilson. If you're going to lose with Russell Wilson,
you might as well starter, just lose with the rookie.
You can lose with the benefit of the rookie gaining on-the-job experience. And here's the thing: if you did not think he was ready to protect himself, then you shouldn't have him as your number two quarterback. You didn't have to elevate him to your second-string quarterback coming out of the preseason. That's why you signed Jameis Winston in the first place. You told us that this kid, if he's being called upon, can step in and that the game would not be too big from him. Based on everything we've seen so far from Jackson Dart, it doesn't feel like it's too big for him. Put him in the game. You don't have a chance to be competitive without him.
You know, Jameis Winston could be up in there. You could put him in there against the Chargers. He's an experienced quarterback. You can give him a chance. You could do that. Fine. Here's what I would say to you. When you look at the New York Giants, still a business, isn't it?
Correct.
Isn't that business? Don't these guys get paid?
They do.